WYTV.
Bears have beaten San Francisco 13-3. For those of you who watched that Bear victory, welcome to the Coliseum in Los Angeles for the Raiders against the Giants as Howie Long takes down Butch Woolfolk.
This is the thing that Bill Parcells was saying yesterday, the Giant coach, that we want to be able to do this. They've started off, they've run every play so far, but he knows in order to do it all day, you have to loosen them up a little by throwing the football.
Lyle Alzado, we have just been informed, has an ankle injury. Don't know how serious, but that's why he's not playing, and Long is now playing defensive right end. Bruner gets it outside in the direction of Byron Williams, incomplete. And we'll take a look at one of the best punters in the NFL, Dave Jennings. Two of the very best are here today. Ray Guy, of course, for the Raiders. Greg Pruitt, so many great years at Cleveland, will try to return the kicks for the Raiders. Penalty marker down already. Pruitt gets to the outside, dances to about the 43 before he's brought down by Lawrence Taylor.
You know what happened on that play, Pat? The Raiders had too many guys on the field. The defense was coming off, and they didn't get off the field. So that's going to be against the Raiders, and that's an undisciplined thing. Doggone it, when it's third down, you have to get off.
Illegal procedure against the Giants. Maybe they didn't feel that they gave him enough time to get off.
That must be because the Raiders had about 15 men on the field on that play. In fact, I think they changed it there, Pat. That was against the Raiders.
It was against the Raiders, okay. And that will probably be enough for a first down. It'll be very close. I think it is a first down.
Defense, 12 men on the field, first down.
12 men, they had about 15 or 16 men on the field.
Fred Silva is the referee. We'll check out some of the other final scores. Tampa Bay beat Houston 33-24. The Jets overwhelmed New England 26-3. That's a final as well. First down, Giants. Just outside their own 40. No score as yet. Butch Woolfolk, the lone setback. Scott Bruner is the quarterback. Ernest Gray in motion. Outside quickly to Gray. Raider defense gets out, reacts quickly, led by Bob Nelson. But it got good yardage nevertheless. Bill Pickell has taken the place of Lyle Alzado at right defensive end. There he is, number 71. And there is Lyle Alzado over on the sideline, checking his ankle.
Lyle Alzado is a guy that comes off the bus or into the locker room ready to play. I've never seen a guy get as fired up to play a football game as Lyle Alzado.
Byron Williams in motion. Woolfolk, the ball carrier, cuts back inside. Good yardage. Another Giant first down. Bob Nelson on the tackle. Raiders think a lot of number 71, Pickell.
Well, you know, he was a rookie. He was their number 2 draft choice from Rutgers. And he said that he came in and he's just strong. He plays a run. He plays a pass. Watch him right here on Brad Benson. Benson does a good job because Pickell gets up too high. You see, he was standing up, but he did a nice job of getting off the block and back in and helping the tackle.
But Woolfolk got the first down, so the Giants move into Raider territory. John Missler. That's the final score. New Orleans beats Minnesota 17-16. Big win for the Saints. And a big loss for Minnesota. More than any NFC Central is, well, unpredictable.
How about that NFC West? It's the same thing. The 49ers lose today to Chicago. New Orleans wins. They can get back in that thing.
Of course, the Rams are playing not too far from here against Buffalo. So a lot of things could happen in both of those divisions before this day is over. 2nd and 9. Woolfolk got only one. Byron Williams put out wide to the right. Ernest Gray wide to the left. Here comes Williams in motion. Bruner hit from the outside by Rod Martin. Another of the Raiders who's having an outstanding year.
He's an amazing guy. He's in his 7th year now. We drafted him 8 years ago. He was our last pick, the 12th round pick. We waived him. He went on, played with the 49ers, and then he came back. He was the outstanding player in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They just didn't block old Rod on that play. See those eyes? He said, I like that. I play outside. I come in and rush the passer. No one blocks me. He said, that's a pretty good deal.
That's the way to play it. John Tuggle now in the backfield with Joe Morris. As the Giants have to throw. Instead of that, they run a draw play to Morris. He shakes to the outside, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, is out of bounds, and the Giants will have to punt. For an update right now, let's take you back to our New York studio and Brent Musburger.
Well, Pat, New Orleans did beat Minnesota, and Chicago did beat San Francisco, and now the Packers are trying to be tied for first in the NFC Central. That was Dickie to Lofton, Dickie's 27th touchdown pass of the season. Let's go back to Pat and John.
And you're looking at Dave Jennings at the Los Angeles Coliseum, the home of the Los Angeles Raiders. Greg Pruitt is standing at his own 10. Dave Jennings will punt for the Giants. Good shot. Pruitt lets it sail. No. He finally does catch it at about the 5-yard line. The Giants were down quickly, but a penalty marker has been dropped on the field.
45-yard punt.
45-yard punt by Jennings. No return as the officials go into conference.
Exciting 1982 Raider highlight film is now available free for group viewing. The small rights to Los Angeles Raiders are used as convenient mail-in coupons.
That's the final score. Washington hung on to beat Philadelphia 28-24. Those of you who watched that Redskin victory, welcome to the Los Angeles Coliseum. Pat Summerall and John Madden.
45
Here's the officials call.
On the run back, illegal push in the back. It'll be first down.
First down, Raiders at their own 2-yard line. Not a very good way to start your offensive day. Tom Flory, Raiders coach. What a nice guy he is.
Well, you know, the Raiders seem to have so many things go wrong, but they always win. That's what the good teams do. I mean, they have 42 turnovers, second worst in the league, but they just keep winning.
Jim Plunkett drops the ball in the end zone, and the Giants will have a safety. Plunkett. Bill Courier came up quickly. Plunkett fell on the ball in the end zone, and that's just what you were talking about.
That's the type of thing that happens to him. You know, as Tom Flores was saying, he said, we just can't go out and have an easy one. He said, every game we win, we have to make a game out of it.
Plunkett, of course, making one of his what seemed like annual comebacks.
Well, here it is right here. You know, he starts to turn. See, he's reverse pivoting. He's going to reverse from the left to the right, and right in the middle of his pivot, he just lost the ball. And that's a smart thing. Just dive on it. Give him 2. If he does start scrambling around there, if the Giants recover the ball, of course, that would be 7 points. 6 points, touchdown.
And with Haji Sheik, it'd be 7. You're right.
Right, Jim Plunkett was just telling the center, Dave Dalby, there. He was saying, hey, it was me, it wasn't you. Because he did get the ball from the center.
We never had a chance to tell you who was playing on offense for the Raiders, but we will get to that. This is the tough part coming up of a safety right here. Of course, the 2 points often turn out to be very important, but then you have to give the ball right back. Ray Guy. He'll keep it up there a while for you.
He will, and you have to give it back in good field position because you have to punt from the 20-yard or kick from the 20-yard line. The Raiders choose to punt.
Well, a lot of times people wonder why they don't kick off, but the reason is you can't use a tee. You have to kick it off the ground like a field goal or an extra point, not like a kickoff.
Right, and a punt should be able to go farther than a kickoff, a free kick.
And stay up there a lot longer. He didn't get it. The Giants do get it back at their own 45. Mike Mayock is the man to handle it. Steinfeld is the one who made the recovery.
You know, a lot of times you get your kickoff return team in there and you get guys that aren't used to catching punts. But here he caught the punt. It was just a good hit by the Raiders.
So the Giants take over and they lead 2-0.
You're looking at the unique aerodynamic design of the new '84 Ford Tempo. But come on in for the inside story. Tempo has more driver legroom than an Audi 5000. There's a clear view of the instrument cluster. Driver's controls and storage areas are fingertips away. And Tempo's interior actually has more rear room than the Mercedes 300D. The new Ford Tempo. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Televideo personal computers equip the professional for success. Because Televideo's innovative design produces powerful, sensibly priced computers that communicate with one another and grow as rapidly as you do. Televideo, personal computers that equip you to attain that most coveted objective of business boom. Televideo personal computers. Get in on the boom.
Pat Summerall, John Madden at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Giants 2, Raiders nothing. 9-11 left first quarter. That's the final score. The Browns starting to roll, improve their record. Green Bay 7, Atlanta nothing, first quarter. First and 10 as Scott Bruner looks over the Raider defense. Mistler in motion. Wolf hooks the ball carrier. Did well to get back to the line of scrimmage. Otis McKinney came up to make the stop.
That's the thing that's going to happen to the Giants here. If they keep running every first down, the Raiders are starting to tighten up, getting their safeties up in the line of scrimmage. And in that time, they had an 8-man front. And that's tough to run against.
Alzado is still not back in the Raider defense. It's Piquel at right defensive end and Long at the other side. Reggie Kinlaw is the nose tackle. He's a good one. Bruner back to throw. Chased by Hendricks. Away from Hendricks. Does throw. Has the ball knocked loose. Byron Williams was the intended receiver, and Ted Watts put the hammer on him.
You know what the Raiders are doing now is they're using 2 safeties in there. They have Mike Davis, and then they have Otis McKinney in there, and they're playing the 2 safeties because the Giants are playing 2 tight ends.
Now they put James Davis in as well. Bill Parcells over on the sideline. The Los Angeles Coliseum. Home of the 1984 Olympics, or some of them at least. That's Mistler in motion. Bruner out of the shotgun. Outside quickly for Mistler, thrown behind him. And Jennings will have to come on to front. James Davis on the coverage. That's one of the things that Parcells knew they had to do, and that was throw quickly.
Throw quickly, and of course one of the big problems is because they really can't pass protect against that defensive line of the Raiders.
Jennings standing at his own 30. Greg Pruitt back at the Raider 10. Beautiful Southern California day. Boy. Jennings almost blocked, but he hangs it high to Pruitt. Pruitt at the 16. Signaled for the fair catch. Tony Caldwell was the Raider who came close to blocking that kick of Jennings, but it was a good punt nevertheless. 39 yards, no return, so a 39-yard net.
You're about to see the Ford Ranger leap to new heights in quality. Based on a survey of owner-reported problems during the first 3 months, Ranger quality was unbeaten by any major small truck maker. And Ranger has V6 power, more horsepower than Chevy S10 of the imports, and a wider cab than any small truck. For toughness, horsepower, and unbeaten quality, it's Ranger down-to-earth tough. The best-built American trucks are built Ford tough.
A Christmas gift from Radio Shack.
I was having a problem finding gifts, but then I found this one-piece all-electronic phone at Radio Shack, on sale $19.95. It has auto-redial, an electronic ringer, a 16-foot cord, and it hangs up when you put it down. It was such a fabulous gift, I decided to treat myself. This one's for the kitchen, the bedroom, the bathroom, the hall, the upstairs bathroom.
The one-piece personal phone, on sale $19.95, only at Radio Shack.
Raiders have the ball at their own 16. First and 10 with the Giants leading 2-0. 8:14 left to play in the first quarter. the Los Angeles Coliseum. Marcus Allen and Kenny King are the two running backs. Marcus Allen, hit by Brad Van Pelt, might have spun backwards for about a yard. The offense of the Raiders: Jim Plunkett, the quarterback, Marcus Allen and Kenny King, the running backs, Cliff Branch and Malcolm Barnwell, the wide receivers. Up front, Bruce Davis, Charlie Hanna, Dave Dalby, Mickey Marvin, Henry Lawrence, and the league's leading receiver, Todd Christensen. Tight end. Branch at the bottom of your picture, Barnwell inside of him. Plunkett hands to Kenny King. Marcus Allen, sorry. Lawrence Taylor on the tackle.
23, Brian Kelly made the stop.
The Giant defense, it's a three-man front. Dee Hardison at the left end, Jerome Salley, the nose tackle, and the rookie Leonard Marshall at right end. Van Pelt, Kelly, Carson, and Taylor. Perhaps the league's best linebacking crew. Haynes, Jackson, Bill Courier, and number 1 draft choice Terry Kennard, the free safety. Third down for the Raiders. They need 4 for a first. Plunkett back. Penalties go down. It's intended for Branch over his head. Plunkett had some pressure.
He did. You know, one of the interesting things that the Raiders do, that's going to be a penalty against the Raiders holding. I'm sure it'll be declined because the Giants want the ball. But they're one of the few teams that keep their 2 running backs in on third down.
Offense, number 65, holding. Decline, fourth down.
That set that John Madden was talking about has become something of a rarity.
Yeah, you hardly ever see both backs in on a... You always see 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. The Raiders are one of the few that stay in standard formation.
Ray Guy to punt. Shaw back deep. Guy doesn't get it to turn over, but Shaw will handle it at his own 39. Raiders down in a hurry. Derek Jensen and Kenny Hill there, right on top of him. 39-yard punt, a 6-yard return, so Ray Guy's net is 33 yards. 6:38 left to play first quarter. The Giants get the football again. They lead the Raiders 2-0.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours a happy and safe holiday season.
Really can't judge the true character of Thunderbird without touching one. Nothing can tell you how it fits like sitting in one, or how it feels like discovering one, or how it performs like driving one. Even the way it looks improves the way it drives. Thunderbird. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Giant defensive unit meeting over on the sideline. Brian Kelly's big broad back to you. First down, Giants. They lead 2-0. They have the ball at their own 44. And the possession so far belongs to them. Here's the counter play that teams have been running, and Woolfolk slips down. Here comes a flag down.
Lester Hayes made the stop.
Lester Hayes came in to make the stop on Butch.
Penalty marker on the field. Personal foul, Raiders.
Personal foul against the Raiders.
I'll tell you one thing, the Raiders are giving the Giants all the opportunity that they need here in this first quarter.
They really
gave
are.
them a safety.
Defense, number 36, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, blow to the head. First
36
down.
is Mike Davis. He doesn't think he did anything.
Ball on the Raiders 37, first down.
First down at the Raider 37. Gray in motion. Woolfolk on the counter play, nothing doing. Still has the ball. Swings to the outside. Cuts back inside, and Butch Woolfolk, with a heck of an effort, gets something from nothing. Lester Hayes knocked him out of bounds. Rod Martin had a shot at him in the backfield.
I'll tell you, Rod Martin came from that right side like he was shot out of a gun. It was that counter play. Woolfolk faked to the right, comes back to the left. Now watch here. Now what? He'll start faking to the right, and then he's going to run back to the left. But watch Rod Martin. He'll come shooting in here, right to the right of the screen right there. Just as Butch Woolfolk turned, there was Rod Martin, but Woolfolk made a heck of a play out of that thing.
And Scott Bruner got a heck of a block on Rod Martin. They get Woolfolk get out of the trap. Bruner outside. Malcolm Scott, DH back.
Malcolm Scott. He has dropped
to the 30.
30-yard line.
For an NFL update, let's take you again back to our New York studio and Brent Musburger.
Pat, the Packers get on the board again. It was a pass interference call against James Lofton down on the 1 that set up this touchdown. Dickey was on the roll, took it on in himself, and at halftime we'll hear from Washington Redskin fullback John Riggins. Back to Pat and John.
Giants out of the huddle, 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the Raider 29. They need 2 for a first down. They send Missler in motion. Bruner backpedals. Pass knocked away by Bob Nelson and very nearly picked off by Nelson. Intended for Ernest Gray. So here comes Ali Haji Sheikh. Missed only 3 field goals all year.
So you talk about a bright spot in this Giants defense. It has to be this guy, Ali Haji Sheikh. Watch Bob Nelson there. He's just playing a zone. He started back, saw the ball, boom, right over there, and knocked it down with his right hand.
Ali Haji Sheikh from 47 yards out. Bruner is the holder. 23 out of 26 on the year. 256 yards. Wide right. All you have to do is brag about people, I guess. So the Giants come away empty, but they still lead the Los Angeles Raiders 2-0 in the first quarter from the Coliseum.
In these modern times, the person who goes to work may not have far to go. But at the Hat of the Month Club, the boss better keep moving. To keep the books, organize the files, write the letters, check out the inventory, find time to create, and still keep on top of things. Yet even a thriving business can reach a point of diminishing returns. A good time to learn about the IBM personal computer. With this tool for modern times, a person can quickly master such jobs as accounting or word processing. Even use the IBM personal computer to forecast growth. All helping the business person at home to wear many hats, while selling even more. And that can be a feather in anyone's cap. The IBM personal computer. Try one on at a store near you.
If someone you love has been marked by war, you will understand why this film had to be made.
I was always afraid if I started crying, I'd never stop.
Mike Farrell, Memorial Day, Sunday.
5:25 remaining first quarter. Pat Summerall and John Madden, the Los Angeles Coliseum, home of the L.A. Raiders, who have the ball right now. Plunkett will throw on first down, or try to. Here comes Lawrence Taylor. Plunkett got it away. Marcus Allen dances to the 35. Bill Courier made the stop. Lawrence Taylor very nearly took the helmet and perhaps some more of the equipment off Jim Plunkett.
You have the feeling that the Raiders may not know as much about Lawrence Taylor as other teams do because they haven't played against this guy who may be. Lawrence Taylor just may be the best football player in the National Football League. And he has to have special blocking.
And certainly a lot of attention. That's Marcus Allen in motion. Handoff is to Kenny King. Takes a couple of tackles. And King out of bounds after getting a Raider first down. Terry Kennard knocked him out.
Maybe the Raiders do know more about him and say, well, let's just run away from him. He's lining up over on our left. Let's run Kenny King to the right.
Well, really, a lot of teams try to run away from him, but he runs them down.
He catches them. You can't run away from him to the inside. You can run away from him to the outside, but he'll run it down to the inside.
First down, Raiders at their own 44. Giants leading 2-0. King in motion. Fake to Allen. Plunkett looks. Barnwell, another Raider first down. Hit down by Brian Kelly, but it's in Giant territory at their 43. 13-yard gain.
I'll tell you one thing that they did. They kept their tight end, Todd Christensen, in, their leading receiver, the leading receiver in the whole NFL. They kept him in on that pass play to block Lawrence Taylor.
That's Malcolm Barnwell, who caught the pass, who seems to be injured or shaken up or wind knocked out of him right now.
Watch this. It's a little fake. He fakes to Marcus Allen. That takes the linebackers out to the right. Then Malcolm Barnwell comes in against the grain and finds that hole.
That was Bill Courier who put the hit on that hurt Barnwell, but he came off under his own power.
Well, the Giants had those opportunities, and they sure didn't take advantage of them. With all those opportunities and only come off with 2 points, that's not getting the job done.
That's Branch up at the top of your picture, and Dokie Williams at the bottom. And he can do a lot of things. Williams has it knocked away right at the very last second. A good defensive play by Terry Kennard.
Let's watch Lawrence Taylor here, number 56. We'll see how they're blocking him. He started in the middle, so they didn't know where he was. Shifted to the outside. Now the Raiders are putting their tackle, Bruce Davis, out on him. He does a nice job. See me, just gets square, turns him to the outside, gives Plunkett time.
It has to be somebody like that. Somebody that big to handle Lawrence Taylor.
Someone that big that can get to him that quickly.
2nd and 10 Raiders. Barnwell back in action, goes in motion. Marcus Allen jumping over a couple of tacklers. Jumped over Mark Haynes and got about 5.
I'll tell you, there's a guy that they love down here, is that Marcus Allen. They say that he can do it all. He runs with it, he blocks, he catches. He's had a little problem fumbling this year, and Tom Flores said, I don't know what the heck it is, but what do you say to a great back when he fumbles?
Maybe that's part of doing it all.
I think so, because, sometimes to keep your balance, to make great moves, you get the ball in some funny position.
That's a pretty good conversion rate you just saw on 3rd down, over 43%. Keep Kenny King in. Here comes Lawrence Taylor around behind Plunkett. They get it to Todd Christensen. And the tight end gets down to the Giant 35. Not enough for a first down, Lawrence Taylor. Let's watch it. It's a pleasure to watch.
Jim Plunkett has been around so long that even though he can't see from the back, see, there's Bruce Davis blocking on him. He can feel Taylor. He knows there's something there. He says, I got to get rid of that thing. Boom! Here it is, Todd. Taylor says, there it is. You see that play by Taylor? He was on Plunkett and then ended up making the tackle on Christensen.
He got an assist from Andy Hedden on Plunkett. Here is Chris Barr from 52 yards out, and perhaps the best holder in the league, David Hum. Back to Wood. Barr. No. That might be asking a little too much of him. He's hit some clutch field goals this year. Won 3 games, in fact. That one no good. It's 2-0 Giants still.
We are an explorer, a farmer, a miner, and an insurance company. We're a pipeline, a truck line, a gold mine, and a leasing company. We're a builder, a printer, a logger, and an energy company. We are more than 41,000 men and women
working in 18 different industries all across America. We are Southern Pacific. We also run a railroad.
2:25 remaining first quarter at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, and the Giants have a safety. Jim Plunkett fumbled into the end zone, fell on it. That's the only scoring we have so far as you watch John Missler go in motion. Butch Wolfolk, the ball carrier. Ted Watts, but Rod Martin made a heck of a play. Oh, what a good player he is.
I'll tell you, I was saying earlier, he was drafted in the 12th round. And it was funny the way he was drafted, Pat. I was, of course, with the Raiders then, and we got to the last round, and we didn't know who to take. We're talking about basketball players from AT and IG and stuff. So I called my friend John Robinson at SC. I said, hey, you got any players just laying around there that may be good? He said, yeah, why don't you take Rod Martin? He can play. So we took Rod Martin, and now he's been a great player.
Raiders showing blitz. Davis showing. There's Rod Martin. And didn't, early in his career, he was cut, was he not?
That's right. The Raiders cut him. The 49ers picked him up. The 49ers cut him, and then the Raiders got him again. Watch him here. He's the inside guy here, 53. Sees that tight end block down, tackle pull, gets right down there, flattens out, right down the line of scrimmage, and makes the tackle on the other side.
With an assist from Van McElroy, who is another find that the Raiders have come up with. 3rd and 3. Manga to Missler. Bruner to Missler. Throw it quick, they say. That's enough for a first down.
That's what he wants to do. We'll see Missler here now. He just gets up here enough for a first down, turns around, hooks, Bruner, right in there on him, and they get that first down. That's not a bad play if you can stay in those 3rd and 4 or 5 situations. Where it's a terrible play is when you do that, you need 3rd and 12.
27 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Missler in motion again. Handoff is to Butch Wolfolk. Reggie Kinlaw and Bob Nelson wrap him up. Green Bay and Atlanta, the Packers. In the thick of things in the NFC Central, 14-0. Atlanta trying to stay alive in the NFC West. Kansas City 7, Seattle 7. San Diego 14-7 over Denver in the first quarter. Speaking of first quarter, that's the end of number 1 here at the Coliseum, with the Giants ahead of the Raiders by the score of 2-0.
Have you driven a Ford and you don't know what you're missing? Have you driven a Ford lately? Have you driven a Ford and you don't know what you're missing?
Have you driven the best-built American cars and trucks?
Have you driven a Ford? Driven a Ford lately?
Well, gentlemen, that takes care of business today.
Forgot about Jason.
Jason, your report on electric motors.
Gentlemen, I have searched for and found 200 electric motors that will save the firm $69,000 over the purchase price of some other motors we could buy.
Very impressive, Jason.
Excuse me, if I may?
Yes, Bryant.
Gentlemen, there is another choice. High-efficiency electric motors from GE. These will cost $69,000 more going in. However, owing to their remarkable energy efficiency, they'll more than pay for themselves over the first year. And over the next 10 years, gentlemen, that's a savings of $1,587,855.22.
High-efficiency motors from GE, proving again that penny wise is still pound foolish.
Nice going, Bryant.
It's Grant, sir.
Yeah, Grant.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by GE. At GE, we bring good things to life.
Coming up, 2nd and 7. Giants leading 2-0 over the Raiders at the end of one quarter. Giants have rushed 13 times. Butch Wolfolk has carried on 12 of them. Make it 13 out of 14. He only got a couple. Howie Long is the man who made the hit that stopped him. With an assist from Bill Pickell. Very slow-moving first quarter. Greg Townsend, number 93, is another man. As Reggie Kinlaw coming out is another man you want to keep your eyes on. They said he wasn't big enough, but after they took a look at him, they found out that quickness sometimes overcomes bigness. And now he's getting big as well. Bruner, incomplete. Missler was the intended receiver, but sometimes you can throw it too quick.
Too quick, and I think maybe not far enough away from the line of scrimmage, because that ball, that pass protection was really good enough, and I think if they're getting a little push in the middle, maybe Bruner should drop a little deeper.
Dave Jennings very quickly gets off another rocket. Greg Pruitt lets it sail, and it pops into the end zone and out. They'll bring it back to the 20. That's the ankle of Lyle Alzado, who is sort of the cult leader of the defensive line group for the Raiders. He has a bad ankle, and it doesn't look like he'll be back.
I'm out on the field.
Lou?
Hiya!
Do you do brake jobs?
Brakes, coffee breaks.
But can you guarantee a brake overhaul for 24,000 miles or 2 years?
2 years?
At Goodyear, when we overhaul your brakes, we back our good work with a written guarantee. A guarantee that's got our good name on it. Now, who else can give you that?
2 years? Give me a break.
For auto service that's guaranteed, come up to Goodyear.
The who?
The tax people.
Oh, today. Oh, all right. Call the accountant.
Running your own business, you've got to give it your best. And that means personal computers from Digital. For extensive business software, graphics, communications, plus a revolutionary customer support plan. Not even the world's largest computer company gives you so much.
Oh, hi. We've been waiting for you.
But the second largest does. Digital Equipment Corporation.
Pat Summerall, John Madden at the Los Angeles Coliseum, where the Giants lead the Raiders 2-0. Second quarter, Cliff Branch out wide to the left, Malcolm Barnwell at the top of the picture. Marcus Allen. Pretty tough going in there.
Listen to all that sound, all that cracking, boom, powing in there. You gotta love that. Watch Dave Dalby now. He's been playing 12 years for the Raiders. He's going here against Jerome Sally. Watch this matchup here. Whoa, Sally does a nice job. Gets underneath the shoulder pads. Hold that middle. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Here comes the ball. Pretty good. Spin around. He got it.
Pretty good play by Jerome Sally. We ought to check that one out again. Pass by Bucket. The amazing Cliff Branch. Stopped by Terry Jackson. 11-yard gain. Branch has found some secret and has never gotten old.
He has never gotten old. You know, we took Dave Dalby in the 4th round and Cliff Branch the same year, 12 years ago. These guys have been starting forever, and Cliff Branch still has that same speed, that same quickness, that same size. He's never gotten old. You better not play him too tight. He'll go deep on you.
Still. Plunkett's handoff to Frank Hawkins, hit behind the line of scrimmage by guess who? Lawrence Taylor.
I'll tell you, they were on a blitz from the outside. Now watch, Van Pelt comes from one side, Taylor comes from the other side. And they just, boom, they got in there before the play got started.
They had those two side by side.
The old inside-out deal.
Now Taylor is lined up outside the right defensive end. Plunkett back to throw. Branch shakes one tackler, gets in Giant territory. Terry Kennard, Terry Jackson, both combined to get him down, but it's an 18-yard pickup.
You know, you wonder how Cliff Branch gets so open on the out pass. The reason is that the corner, Terry Jackson in this case, is so worried about Branch going deep that he respects it too much. He gives him too big a cushion. He's way off. Then Branch can just cut out in front and catch it in front of him.
With that catch, Cliff Branch has now gained over 8,000 yards on pass reception. Marcus Allen for just 2. Jerome Sally on the bottom of the pile. Here's what we were just talking about. The Raiders' all-time receivers. The great Fred Biletnikoff, the leader. Cliff Branch just got over 8,000, and then Art Powell.
You know, Art Powell was a receiver that was with the Raiders. He was traded to Buffalo for Darryl LaMonica. That's how the Raiders got LaMonica.
And Jim Plunkett is now their quarterback on his umpteenth comeback. Hawkins barrels to the 40. Lawrence Taylor made the hit that stopped him. Close to a first down, maybe. Yes.
I'll tell you, I bet you Dave Dalby made a block on that one, because if you're going to run in the middle, if you're going to run against a 3-man line, you have to get that nose tackle block. Now, what happened on that play is Sally started to stunt. He started to stunt to his left. Mickey Marvin, the right guard, boom, picked him off, stopped that penetration, and they were able to get by.
Raider first down, just inside the Giant 40. Here's Allen again. And he nudges for about 3. Brad Van Pelt stopped him.
Stopped by Brad Van Pelt.
For an update, back to our New York studio and Brent Musburger.
37.
But the Packers are having a field day against Atlanta, playing without Steve Bartkowski. Here comes Dickey to his tight end Kaufman. Kaufman battles in, and now it's 21-0 Green Bay. They'd be tied for first if they can hold on. Back to Pat and John.
It's 2-0 here, but the Raiders are on the move. 9:50 left to play in the first half. Plunkett back to throw. Now he takes off. Plunkett slides inside the 30. Brian Kelly on top of him. Plunkett looks in excellent shape. He has a tendency to gain weight, get heavy, but he looks good now.
Well, I'll tell you, he's one of those guys that's very thick. He has great big legs, and he has to run all the time. Now, watch what they do to the nose tackle here. Watch the right guard in the center. You see that? Boom. The guard gets him there. Center goes to the other side. Mickey Marvin does a nice job of taking him to the inside. Then Plunkett has that big alley in there. There's a guy who can block, is that Mickey Marvin.
He enjoys the game.
Oh, he loves it. He'd play all day. Oh.
Plunkett got enough for the first down. Kenny King is back in the backfield now with Marcus Allen. Plunkett back to throw. They get Lawrence Taylor blocked. They have Todd Christensen wide open. Christensen struggles down to about the Giant 12 before Terry Jackson can get there, but it's a 17-yard pickup. It's an amazing story right there, too. Christensen.
Todd Christensen was a running back in college at Brigham Young, was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. Wade went to the New York Giants. He was there for a week, and then the Raiders picked him up, and he was a special teams guy, and they made a tight end out of him. Watch him here. He just comes across. The Giants are in a zone defense. Cliff Branch drew all the respect over there. You see that? And that opened the hole for Christensen.
First down, Raiders. Giant 13. Plunkett back to throw again on first down. And the receiver, Don Hasselbeck, whom they got from New England. And Hasselbeck is a big target. 6'8". The Raiders get the lead.
Watch that. He puts Marcus Allen, is in motion out to the right. He does a little movement here. He looks to the right. Then he comes back to Hasselback here, and as you say, he's a big target. The Giants were in pretty good position. They had 3 guys there, but Hasselback was just too big. Whoop, right over the top of him.
A good throw by Plunkett. Barr for the extra point with Hum holding. Right down the middle. What's that touchdown?
This is what happens when you have a 6'7" tight end. We'll see it right here. See, Plunkett can see him pick him out all the way. Look at that. You can throw it up over everyone right into Hass. That was a heck of a throw.
It really was.
If you really want to know who's building quality cars, you don't ask the people who build them. You ask the people who buy them. For the past 3 years, we've asked Pace Research to survey thousands of people who bought new cars and trucks from all the major manufacturers. Using a method that's long been a standard for measuring quality, the survey covers owner-reported problems during the first 3 months of use in such critical areas as engines, electrical systems, leaks and rattles, brakes, starting, steering. Here's what the survey shows. For the 3rd straight year, the highest quality cars and trucks of any major U.S. manufacturer are being built by Ford. In fact, our latest survey of 1983 models found that Ford's quality has improved so much, we're now in the league with some very fine imports. If you want to know who's building quality cars, don't ask the people who build them. Ask the people who buy them.
Quality Ford. Quality is job one.
One of college basketball's great rivalries is renewed as Bobby Knight leads the Indiana Hoosiers against Joe Hall's heavily favored Kentucky Wildcats next Saturday on CBS Sports.
There's the man who just scored the Raider touchdown, the only touchdown of this contest so far, Don Hasselbeck. Big target sure helps. He's caught 2 passes, by the way, as a Raider, both of them for touchdowns. John Tuggle slipped. Tuggle to about the 25, but flags are flying all over the place. Derek Jensen down to make the hit that stopped Tuggle. Raiders just went 80 yards in 10 plays against the Giants. And in that drive, that 80-yard drive, Plunkett was 4 for 4 for 57 yards. Plunkett looks like he is playing with a lot of confidence at the moment.
Well, you know, he started out as a Raider starter this year, and he was replaced
on the
by
run
Mark
back,
Wilson.
Number 84 on the receiving team. Illegal block above the waist. First down.
Zeke Moat.
And then Mark Wilson had the injury, and so Plunkett was able to sit on the sidelines and watch. Sometimes that helps a guy. Tom Flory said he's been much, much better since his return.
Bruner has Woelfel at the long setback. Here comes that counter play. Woelfel takes it outside. He doesn't take it far outside. Ted Hendricks, number 83. Ted playing a little bit hurt. Here's the play.
Watch this. We'll see it's a counter play. Woelfel will fake a little to his left. See, it takes that little counter step, and now that allows his offside tackle, Brad Benson, to get in front of him. 60 there. You see, the only thing is Benson ran right by Hendricks. Hendricks is 6'7". You have to be able to find him. He's like a tree out there.
On second down, Brunner back to throw. Byron Williams gets some breathing room outside the 25 to about the 28. Good throw by Brunner. Mike Davis, the defender. But that one was hummed in the middle of a lot of defenders.
Right there, it was a heck of a throw. You see Hendricks is underneath, and we see right there, he does a good job. He runs the corner, Lester Hayes off, and then he cuts to the inside.
So it's first down, Giants. They go on a quick count, and Woelfel being chased by Piquel and Bob Nelson and taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I wonder if Butch Woelfel wants to carry the ball as many times today as he did last week against the Eagles.
I don't think so.
You know, early in the season, he wanted to get the ball more, and of course, Rob Carpenter was carrying it more then. And now, since he's the only back there, you're going to get a lot of work.
He's already carried it 15 times today. On the draw play, Bob Nelson reacts quickly. A little altercation going on between Howie Long and one of the Giants. I don't know that I'd want to get into an altercation with him.
Look at the arms on that guy, and that Howie Long. I'll tell you, he is something.
51, of course, is Nelson. Third down and long, and that's Howie Long.
I tell you, we watched films of him yesterday, and I think we both agree that he may be the best defensive end in the league.
Wow. Well, he's got everything. Good technique, good quickness, great strength. Bruner steps up into the pocket, incomplete. Flag is down, however. Penalty is going to be against Mike Haynes. Byron Williams was the intended receiver against the Raiders.
Defensive pass interference, number 22, first down.
Of course, Mike Haynes is playing in his second game as a Raider. He played some last week against Buffalo. He's just gotten in the game here in the second quarter. And we see him here. You see, he's the outside guy. He starts in there. He's okay. He bumps. Now the ball's in the air. It looked like he made contact before it got there with his left shoulder.
So it's a first down, Giants. Off their 7. 3 have come by penalty. Bruner fakes to Woolfolk on first down. Scrambles to roll, intended for Mowat. Incomplete. As Van McElroy and Rod Martin collide.
I'll tell you, that Rod Martin's all over the field. We've seen him in the backfield. We've seen him back here running with the tight end. I'll tell you, he does everything on this play, doesn't he?
Lester Hayes.
I'll tell you, he has a different type of stance, doesn't he? He gets down there low, looking into the backfield. Looks like he's ready to broad jump.
Or pounce on the receiver. Here's Bruner, trying to roll left to get under pressure. Does get it away to Mowat, who can't hang on. And McElroy, number 26, the defender. Bruner under all kinds of duress. Just managed to get rid of it. 3rd and 10. Kind of situation you don't like to be in. What happened at St. Louis on Thanksgiving Day? Every time they had a third down situation, they needed more than
10 yards on Thanksgiving. Every third down they had over 10 yards to go average.
That's hard to win that way. Eddings was the man in motion. Bruner out of the shotgun, steps up into the pocket. Has Floyd Eddings, and Floyd Eddings has some room, and he can run. Eddings to the Raider 35. Down at the 32 by Van McElroy. 30-yard gain as Eddings showed good balance and aggressiveness to go with it.
And I'll tell you, the Giants are doing a good job of pass protecting here. You see, because Bruner now can step up. You see, he can step up. He can get the ball out there to Eddings. He had man-to-man coverage, and once a man who was man-to-man on him fell down, he was able to pick up another 20 yards. But I'll tell you, it all started with the pass protection on that play.
It usually does. Here's Bruner. Let's see if he goes to work again on first down. No, the counter play again. Put Woolfolk inside the Raider 30 to about the 26. Bob Nelson on the tackle.
That was a different type of counter play there. They usually try and get that to the outside, but the Raider defense was stringing it out, so Woolfolk cut it right back in a lot tighter than he usually does. But heck, he still picked up 6 yards.
So it'll be 2nd and 4. That's a comfortable situation. Atlanta on the scoreboard against the Packers. It's 21-7. The counter play again. This time, Woolfolk lost about 3. Ted Hendricks and Matt Millen.
That was a heck of a play by Hendricks here. He played both the outside and the inside on that play. There's Ted Hendricks there. Watch, he's the outside guy. Now, Woolfolk starts to the inside. He plays inside, knocks the guard down, and then he bounces back to the outside and makes the tackle. That's what happens when you're 6'7".
He has a pulled stomach muscle. They say it doesn't bother him as long as he goes straight ahead, but when he twists or turns or tries to change direction, it does bother him. Well, Eddings in motion. Here comes the blitz. Howie Long, it may not have been a blitz. I don't know where he came from, but they had some kind of a stunt, I'm sure, because he came up the middle.
Well, just Long will come in, and he'll play tackle. He plays in the inside on passing downs, and it was a stunt. He just got free straight up the middle. Bruner looked up, and there was 75 Howie Long right in his face. So the Giants were knocked out of field goal position. Of course, they have to punt.
Dave Jennings back to kick. Greg Pruitt back deep for the Raiders. Los Angeles 7. Punted block. Tony Caldwell. Bill Parcells said yesterday in a meeting they got another guy on special teams who really does a good job, and that's the guy he mentioned.
He was talking about Caldwell, but you'd think that the Giants, being concerned with Caldwell, would have had someone on him. Now, what happens, they get a block there, but Jennings was turning to his left, trying to get the ball out of bounds. Now, watch Jennings here. He turns, he kicks it right into Caldwell.
So the Raiders are in good shape. They lead 7-2.
They say if you build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door. Well, that's easier said than done. Because for years, designing better products has been a slow, costly, unproductive process involving endless hours of drafting, calculations, and testing. But now, there's a better, more competitive way. Calma Computer-Aided Design from GE. A machine so fast it lets a designer render his ideas in moments in clear, precise drawings. A machine so accurate it lets him test his ideas for flaws right on this screen. So a designer can try hundreds of ideas in the time it normally takes to do one or two. Which for business means better productivity, and for all of us means better cars, better cameras, better appliances, and perhaps even a better mousetrap. Computer-aided design from GE.
Here's why it was blocked.
Well, watch this. Jennings wants to kick to the left, so he's pointed to the left. Byron Hunt is out here, the end man on the line of scrimmage. Now, if Jennings is punting straight ahead, it's okay. But with Jennings turning into him, Byron Hunt allows too much penetration. It looks like Hunt was blocking for a normal punt, and Jennings was punting for the sideline.
That Hunt didn't know that Jennings was aimed in that direction. So the Raiders have the ball. Plunkett going to work. Christensen open. Todd Christensen out of bounds at the Giant 31, knocked out by Brian Kelly. An interesting story about this guy. When he was drafted by the Cowboys, apparently they saw something and they said, "We want you to try to play tight end." And he said, "No, I don't want to play tight end. I'm a running back." So they had too many running backs. And he went to the Giants for a week as a running back. And is now the league's leading receiver after the Raiders convinced him that that was the spot for him.
You know, originally he came to the Raiders as a running back, and they used him in passing situations, not at tight end, but out of the backfield.
Funny how things develop. Plunkett again. Barnwell will get only a couple of yards out of that reception. Brian Kelly again on the stop.
You know, when he first came with the Raiders, he was a special teams captain because he was a heck of a special teams guy. The other thing that they did with him, because he was such a good athlete, they made him the punt center, the punt snapper.
And he's still doing that. Kansas City leads Seattle 14-7, second quarter. San Diego with Fouts, the quarterback, 21-7. The Rams leading Buffalo 7-0. Plunkett back to throw. Good protection. Intended for Marcus Allen, who had pulled up after coming out of the backfield.
This is the thing, as we watch the Raiders now, we'll see it's third down and long yardage, but they don't make any of those substitutions. They'll still be there. They'll still have the two backs in the backfield, one tight end and two wide receivers.
Tom Flores was saying yesterday one of the reasons they do that is because, number one, Christensen is such a good receiver, and so is Marcus Allen.
And it's another way to get the ball to Marcus Allen. Said he'll get the ball 55 more times by pass reception.
That's the number of receptions he had coming in. Here comes a giant blitz by Van Pelt. Plunkett. Ball is batted away by Harry Carson, intended for Christensen.
That was the coolest bat away I think I've ever seen in my life. Harry Carson was like he was standing out in the park there. Watch Carson. He's 53. He's playing a zone. See, he's backing up, squaring off. Look, he sees Christensen there. Let's see if we can see it when the ball's there. Watch it. He just reaches in and goes, whoop.
47-yard field goal.
47 yards out for Chris Barr. This one he can reach. So with 2:09 now left to play in the first half, it's the Raiders 10, the Giants 2.
Whether you're out in the country or down in the town, there's a new way of living, and it's getting around. GMC, a truck you can live with. Whether you're taking your family or going alone, there's a great way to get there. Come on and make it your own. GMC, a truck you can live with.
To get ahead in business these days, you've got to be fast. You not only have to be fast, you have to be faster than the next guy. And as fast as you are, there's always someone else who thinks he's faster than you. And the faster you go, the faster everyone else tries to get ahead of you, and the faster you have to go to keep up with the fastest. And no matter how fast you go, everyone everywhere is always trying to be faster. So you have to be really fast, tremendously fast, incredibly fast, or you fall behind someone else who is faster. Faster than Jimmy, faster than Joey, faster than Janie, and faster than
To
John.
get ahead in business these days, you have to go with a company who invented the whole idea of fast. Federal Express. Why fool around with anyone else?
Hoppity-toe, wickety-whack, flippity-flop, jiminy-criminy, whoopity-scoopity, zoom it, move it, boom it, rocket.
Tuesday on the Mississippi, a father's revenge against his daughter's attacker could cost him her love.
I'm pleading guilty, okay? That's admitting to the world that your daughter is a tramp.
At the Los Angeles Coliseum, Pat Summerall, John Madden. The Los Angeles Raiders lead the Giants by the score of 10-2. Chris Barr to kick off. Butch Wolfel. John Tuggle now has it. Tuggle outside the 20. Jeff Barnes down to make the hit. Tuggle got to about the 23.
Jeff Barnes made the stop.
And we will probably have before play, and we will have indeed, the 2-minute warning before anything else happens. The Raiders 10, the Giants 2.
16 yards on the return.
The GE 2800 dishwasher. It does almost everything but clear the table.
Coming up at halftime, the NFL Today with Brent Musburger and Irv Cross with scores and highlights and all the developments. And there are many around the league today. Still no Lyle Alzado at defensive right end for the Raiders. Otherwise, it's the same as they began. Ernest Gray takes it from Scott Bruner, and he's now got some more room. Gray gets out of bounds at the Raider 45. Lester Hayes got him out of bounds. 32-yard gain. Ernest Gray having a great year.
Watch him. He starts here from the outside. He's running an in pattern against the zone. You see the corner. He lays off. Watts did. He's pointing in there to him. Gray makes the catch. Boom. Gets out here to the sideline.
On the 45, Bruner back to throw again. Aaron Williams. Haynes finally makes the stop inside the 15. Lester Hayes on the assist. Aaron Williams flashing a little quick speed.
Bill Parcells wants a timeout. Now, I'll tell you, he hit an in from the left side to Gray and an in from the right side to Williams. The Raiders are playing off, and that's a heck of a pass pattern here. You see they're playing off. They're giving too much cushion out here in the outside, and we just see that in get in there, and they have a big hole right in the middle on both those plays.
Giants come roaring right back in good shape.
I'm in the same league with Joe Montana and Ken Anderson.
When your kids join the NFL Super Pro Club, they're in the club that's part of the NFL, and they get a lot of surprises through the year, like the official Super Pro ID card from their favorite team, and this T-shirt transfer, the NFL Trivia Book, decals of their favorite team, newsletters full of inside information, their favorite team's photo, Bengals, Niners, the great NFL Fun Book, Touch Football booklet, Sideline Saucer, an NFL standings board where members can track their favorite team to the Super Bowl. It's all worth much more than the $6 membership fee. Your kids will love to join. Send name, address, name a favorite team, and a $6 check or money order to Super Pro, Box 9000, Trenton, New Jersey, 08650.
And your kids can be in the same league with us.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Football League.
Giants took their first time out. They have 2 left, 1:34 left the first half. Raiders leading 10-2. Saw the timeout situation. Just over a minute and a half left in the first half. Scott Bruner looking. Intended for Ernest Gray, a little bit behind him. Mike Haynes right with him.
Well, on that one to Gray, Mike Haynes was so far off that Gray just beat him in the inside. Here he's playing man-to-man. He's playing an inside technique. Gray is running inside, and Haynes had that ball go right into his hand. It's tough to run an in down there in the goal line when the corner is playing the in. What they should do is come back with that same thing and run a corner. Bend them to the inside and then back outside.
Of course, Mike Haynes hadn't been here that long, hasn't played that much this year. Missler doing the motion. Raiders on a blitz. Bruner gets it away. Incomplete. No flags. Mulledy was the intended receiver. Van McElroy was out there with him.
This one here is good pressure here on Bruner. This time, you see, he does a little fake here. Here comes Nelson. He's coming up the middle. Rod Martin from the outside hits him just as he throws the ball, but that should have been caught. He has a guy hanging on his shoulder. He gets the ball out there. You have to catch those passes.
That was a good throw, especially under those pressure conditions.
You'll have pressure on this one.
3rd down and 10, and Bruner backpedals, and here comes that pressure. They go in the corner. Intended for Gray. Back there with him is Haynes. Here comes Ali Haji Sheikh.
So we see Haynes out there again. He's playing the inside. They run the quick up. Now, the thing that Gray did wrong there, Pat, he should bend him in a little. Bring him in. Get that corner to think you're going inside because he's playing inside. Then you get a little room to the outside. Gray just went straight up, and Haynes just stayed right with him.
From 31 yards out, Ali Haji Sheikh with Scott Bruner holding. the Sheik is perfect. Rather unusual score at the half, 10-5. Well, it's not the half yet. A minute and 16 seconds left to play in the first half. Raiders 10, Giants 5. Upcoming next Saturday, a college football basketball doubleheader at noon Eastern Time. Florida State, led by their outstanding runner, Greg Allen, meets interstate rival Florida, led by their fine quarterback, Wayne Peace. Then, at 4 Eastern Time, one of college basketball's great rivalries will be renewed as Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosiers meet the powerful Kentucky Wildcats, and they did look powerful yesterday. All next Saturday on CBS Sports. Sam Bowie is back for Kentucky. They got some other players. Master. Good team.
You know what surprised me on that last drive is when the Giants took a timeout with 1:34, because one thing, you want to take all the time off the clock that you can. And now they left 1:16 there, and there's no one better than the Raiders the last 2 minutes of the half or the last 2 minutes of the game.
Greg Pruitt and Clee Montgomery back deep for the Raiders. This is Montgomery, Wilbert's brother. They can get some yards out of these things. Montgomery gets back to the 30. Pete Shaw, one of the tacklers, along with Lawrence Taylor. Finally, Bill Parcells said, the heck with it. Let's put our best athletes on the kickoff and punt coverage teams, and that's why Lawrence Taylor is there. Lyle Alzado limps toward the Raiders dressing room.
You know, where he has that ice pack there, that could be an Achilles. You see that? He has it's on the back of the ankle, which is the Achilles tendon.
There's an injured cameraman going with him. Wonder if that's a sympathy pain.
Tough down there.
Taylor after Plunkett. Plunkett just gets it away. Flag is down. Marcus Allen fumbles. Giants have it, I believe. Scramble is on. But there's a penalty marker down. Plunkett was hit late, I think. They're going to call by Lawrence Taylor, which is really going to upset him.
They don't know what to be upset about yet because they're just trying to get the ball. The Raiders did get the ball, so it's a Raiders ball. Now we'll go back and find out what the penalty is. Or he may be upset, but he wouldn't be as upset if they, as if they recovered the fumble, he would have been more upset than he's going to be upset.
They're going to call roughing the passer. Watch Lawrence Taylor.
Defense, right end, personal foul, roughing the passer, hitting him from the rear after the pass, first down.
They call Lawrence Taylor the right end. He's a right linebacker. Now watch him here. Now, Plunkett, he's going to come from the outside. Here he comes right here. Plunkett throws the ball, and he hit him after he let go. He really didn't hit him in the head, though. He just hit him in the back.
He didn't get as upset as he did earlier in the year. Now he's lined up in a different place. Marcus Allen. Close to midfield before Terry Kennard made the stop.
Terry Kennard made the stop.
Here's just what you were talking about. 50 seconds still left to play in the first half.
Well, you see Jim Plunkett coming off the side here, and Tom Flory's talking to him, and they've been in that position so often. The end of the half, the end of the game, they're behind, they need something that, doggone, there's no one that does a better job.
That's a tribute not only to the players, that's also a tribute to fine coaching.
Well, you know what it is? I think it's one of those things that the Raiders have that tradition. And then the new players come in and they learn that. We're never out of the game. We always have time. We just have to, stay after it, keep going. And they just believe in that type of thing.
What is your feeling, because of your long association, but not anymore, with the Raiders. Do you have any emotional involvement with him?
Not as much. You know, had we done this game the first year I retired, it would have been a lot tougher. But there are 15 players out of the 49 that were there when I was there. So, you know, you travel around, you get farther and farther away. So it's really not that tough now.
Second down, about one. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Plunkett drops. Gets it up the middle to Christensen. Can't find a handle. Had it, juggled it. Lawrence Taylor had him by the jersey, and as Christensen tried to recover, Taylor wouldn't let him back.
Lawrence Taylor is playing Todd Christensen man-to-man. He hits him square up there, gives him a forearm. Now he's going to run with him. Christensen has the ball. He starts to bobble it, and as he's bobbling, trying to get it, Lawrence Taylor grabs him.
An amazing player. 3rd and 1.
Lawrence Taylor said, I want to beat on you a little before I cover you.
Which he did. Marcus Allen has the first down and more inside the 40 to the 37 before Harry Carson gets it down. 15 yards for Marcus Allen.
I think this is the thing that the Raiders realize, that when you get in this situation, you have plenty of time. You don't have to go back and throw every time. You can mix, you can let them rush the passer, think it's a passing down, get them all collapsed to the inside, and give the ball to someone like Marcus Allen. That's the thing. You know, when you get down there and you have over a minute, but you have all your timeouts, that's really a lot of time.
Did you notice Marcus Allen then, when he knew he was going to get hit, cover up the ball? He got what he thought he could get. He knew he had a first down, obviously. And then when he saw a collision was imminent, he covered up the ball with both hands.
Well, that's when they have to do it. You know, they can keep it out there while they're running, but when they have to get it away is just when or just before they get hit.
Tom Flores. Next Sunday, the NFL Today will begin it. St. Louis at the New York Giants, the Rams at Philadelphia, and Atlanta will be at Washington. That begins at 12:30. And the doubleheader will have Dallas at Seattle, Tampa Bay at San Francisco, the 49ers. That's coming up next Sunday. Timeouts remaining now. The Raiders down to 1 with 38 seconds left to play, plenty. And the Giants to 2.
And when they have that 1, they want to save that for the field goal.
It up into the pocket. Branch at the Giant 20.
See, they'll go hurry up here because they don't want to use that last timeout. They'll probably try and get the ball out of bounds or in the end zone.
Plunkett goes out of bounds. Incomplete. Calvin Muhammad was the intended receiver, if indeed Plunkett was trying to get it to him.
What he was trying to do is just get that ball out of bounds. Here's the play before. Here's Cliff Branch. He's running up, holds him, runs back to the inside, gets that ball for the first down. Then they hurry up, get the ball out. Now it's second down, 15 seconds. They'll take one shot in the end zone now. They make it, of course, it's a touchdown. If they don't, they'll kick the field goal.
Don't forget they have the luxury of that one other timeout remaining. So this is a well-conceived, well-planned drive by the Raiders. Plunkett to the end zone. Branch. Incomplete. He was covered well. Phil Courier back there with him, along with Terry Kennard.
He was, and of course the Giants knew that they were going to take a shot at the end zone, and if you're going to take a shot in the end zone, you'd want to do it with Cliff Branch. Now, as you say, with having one timeout, there's 9 seconds. They can still take another shot at it here.
And that looks like what they're going to do. Farr is up and ready, but not on the field as Plunkett calls the play.
But the only place to throw here is in the end zone. You have to get the ball in the end zone.
Christensen, the tight end, is just off the line of scrimmage on the right side. Branch is down at the left. Plunkett to the end zone and out. And now with 4 seconds left to go, they'll have to have the field goal unit appear. Well done, though.
Well, they did the right thing. They moved the ball. They mixed it up. They passed. They ran. They used 2 timeouts. They saved 1. They don't need it because of an incomplete pass. But they got in a position where if they didn't get the touchdown, they're in good position for a field goal.
38 yards out for Chris Barr. He has hit his longest of this year, 47 earlier. He has hit again. And the Raiders move further in front. That's the end of the first half as Bill Parcells takes his troops into the Coliseum locker room along with the Raiders. And Tom Flores, 13-5. Don't know that we've had that score before. But the Raiders lead the Giants by that margin, 13-5 at the half.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by GE. At GE, we bring good things to life. And by GMC, a truck you can live with.
The best spark plug that Champion has ever made just got even better. Because Champion's new expanded Copper Plus spark plug line is now available for just about every domestic and imported car sold in America. From Chrysler to Renault, from Buick to Volkswagen and everything in between. Copper Plus, now ready to improve the performance of your car. Because no matter what you drive, nothing sparks like a Champion.
My business is unique.
So, for a small computer, I called IBM.
What's your problem, they asked?
Inventory.
Shipping.
Billing.
Cash flow.
Tying in with headquarters. Everything.
And IBM helped me find the best solution for now and when I grow.
And they backed it with IBM service. Am I glad I got an IBM small computer?
I'm delighted. Some things speak for themselves.
The best football is still to come on CBS Sports with an outstanding lineup of college and pro postseason games. Southwest Conference champion Texas battles Georgia in the Cotton Bowl. SMU takes on Alabama in the Sun Bowl. And North Carolina and Florida State square off in the Peach Bowl. CBS Sports is also the home of the NFL playoffs. Along the way to Tampa, you'll see the wild card playoff, the divisional games, the NFC Championship, and the biggest bowl of them all, Super Bowl 18. All here on CBS Sports.
You're not going to believe what we're about to show you. The Atlanta Falcons have just done it. A 50-yarder with time running out in the first half. They pulled it within 3 points of the Green Bay Packers. There is the score. They'll kick that extra point to make it 24-20. You would think that the defense would have learned its lesson. Let's show you what's happening in this game right now. Now, the Packers dominated early. Here's Lynn Dickey. Look at this catch by James Lofton for a touchdown. Now it was interference at the 1-yard line on Lofton. So Dickey rolling out, nobody open. He bangs on into the end zone, and hey, this game's pretty easy. They were leading 21 points, and back came the Falcons. William Andrews caught a touchdown pass, ran in for his second score. Then, look at this. Big Ben to the right, and here comes Irv.
You can't believe it. Borowski's arm is nowhere near as strong as Bartkowski's, but look at that. Same result. 3 Packers back on defense, he comes up with it.
I don't believe it happened second. Everybody said, what terrible defense San Francisco had last week. That'll never happen again. It did happen again. Check this one out. The San Diego Chargers right now lead the Denver Broncos 21-7. Let me tell you a story of that game. It's a quarterback by the name of Danny Fouts. The Chargers are a totally different football team when he is back in there. He's thrown a pair of touchdown passes to Kellen Winslow, 12 of 19 for 141 yards. You know what he's getting ready for. Thursday night in San Diego. Here come Al Davis and the Raiders, and Fouts wants to be ready for that one. Seattle and Kansas City. Kansas City was ahead here, 21-7. The Seahawks have come back, 21-14. Kurt Warner has scored on a dandy 28-yard touchdown run. The Rams and Buffalo. Vince Ferragamo has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Moments ago, he hit Preston Denard. That put them ahead of the Bills by a score of 14-7. And, of course, the game you're watching here, the Raiders, they always find a way. They lead the Giants right now by a score of 13-5. Now, here came the safety, the Giants on the board. Jimmy Plunkett just simply couldn't get the handle, and the Giants stormed in on him. But you know it's not going to take the Raiders long.
No way. They know how to win. You know, we talk about that a lot with that club, but they know how to win. Here's a quick pass to Don Hasselback for the score, and, of course, the Raiders lead at halftime 13-5.
I still can't get over the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, we got more scores and highlights. We'll hear from John Riggins. That's coming up on the NFL Today after these messages from your local stations.
Monday on Scarecrow and Mrs. King, it's a case of mistaken identity when Amanda's taken hostage.
When they find out she's not Scarecrow, it is over, just like that.
And Scarecrow risks all to save her. Then it's Kenny Rogers, Linda Evans, and Bruce Boxleitner in The Gambler. The adventure continues with a raucous chase across the Old West to rescue the gambler's kidnapped son. At stake is $1 million in gold and the life of a woman with a secret all her own. The Gambler. The adventure continues Monday.
This is CBS.
Jogging, riding, driving. No matter what your active lifestyle is, count on your friends at Mid-State Bank to be there when you need them. Because no matter how you look at it, Mid-State Bank is open till 7. Mid-State Bank, with 16 locations to serve you. They're open weeknights till 7.
Thunderbird. It's taking the West by storm. Is it the way it handles? The way it looks? The way it feels? Find out. Drive one. Thunderbird at your Southern California Ford dealer.
Bowling, as you've never enjoyed it before, is waiting for your club or organization at Oak Knoll Bowl. New Magic Score by AMF makes scorekeeping a snap. Oak Knoll Bowl with complete league facilities is the perfect place for any club, office group, or church to have fun together. Let a representative of Oak Knoll Bowl introduce your group to a company bowling program. Register now during 2 for 1 month, and everyone bowls 2 games for the price of 1. Call or visit Oak Knoll Bowl today.
COY-TV, CBS for the Central Coast.
Irv, going into today's game, the Washington Redskins were more heavily favored than any team this season, picked by 15 points. Yet the Eagles played them very tight. What happened in that game?
A couple of key things in the first half. Mark Bay went out with an injury, and it forced the Redskins to become a left-handed running team. They brought John Riggins in the second half simply as a clock killer. 28-21 at halftime, 28-24 final. The Eagles have to be happy, even though they lost.
A couple plays go the other way. The Eagles win the game. Let me show you one of them. Joe Theismann here wants Art Monk. Roynell Young's going to get a hand on the ball, but instead of deflecting it away, he tips it to Monk for a touchdown. And you know what that means. Come on, Fun Bunch. Give us a celebration. They do it together now, don't they? And how about this combination for the Eagles?
You have to love this guy. Mike Quick is averaging over 22 yards a catch. There's another touchdown for him.
The big fella, John Riggins. 2 more touchdowns, 21 on the season. A record. You're really going strong, John.
I've had an awful lot of help this year, and I've been fortunate that everybody seems to go out of bounds on the 1 or the 2 yard line. So I've had a lot of 2-foot putts this year. But they say, what, do you drive for show and you putt for dough? So I feel pretty good.
John, the Redskins didn't need a 2-foot putt here. Watch downtown Charlie Brown. Slip a tackle and he's gone. Touchdown, Washington. John, you got to be thinking now about the Dallas Cowboys, 2 weeks in Dallas.
And when I saw Dallas play Thursday, of course, I was kind of hoping they might lose. But at the same time, a loss by Dallas on Thanksgiving Day wouldn't have done us any good if we don't go down and beat Dallas in Dallas.
get all the chores done early on December 11th. That's when we shoot for the whole ball of wax. The Washington Redskins against the Dallas Cowboys. I'll tell you something. That game could wind up being more entertaining than a Super Bowl game. Now, the Chicago Bears have suddenly come alive. 13-3, they down San Francisco. Before the game, I spoke to their new president, Mike McCaskey, and he pinpointed today's confrontation as critical to the ball club.
We've had 2 solid ball games in a row. I think we're going to learn a lot today about the players and about the head coach.
And it was a more calm Mike Ditka along the Bears sideline, in control of his emotions. Jim McMahon starting to mature. Pump fake goes to Dennis McKinnon for the touchdown. The Bears led the 49ers by 7 points. And they got an enormous break here. Going in, Wendell Tyler fumbled late in the second quarter, and the Bears recovered. And the Bears got some licks on Joe Montana. Steve McMichael coming in here for the sack. And Chicago now has pulled to within a game of first place in the NFC's Central Division. That's how well they are playing. Elsewhere around the league, of course, the Minnesota Vikings had an opportunity to stay in first, but they blew it. New Orleans down to Merv, 17-16.
The Saints have a lot going for them right now, Brent. Here's plays like this. Wayne Wilson going over from the 2-yard line for an opening touchdown, and of course, Saints fans love it.
Here is Steve Dills now pulling out, drilling one to Tony Galbraith.
Ken Saber gets his offense going. Watch this, a long pass by the Snake. Darn right. Gene Goodlow comes up with it. Down to the 9-yard line. Just a few plays later, Stan Saber hands off to Wayne Wilson. He dives over again for a second touchdown of the day, and the Saints walk away with a win.
And let's check the NFC Central standings right now. Minnesota and Detroit are tied. Remember, the Lions beat Pittsburgh on Thanksgiving. Green Bay appears to be moving up as they are beating Atlanta. And, of course, Chicago is 1 game behind. The Bears' last 3 games, 2 against Green Bay and 1 against Minnesota. Now, elsewhere this afternoon, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won their second game of the year, 33-24 over Houston. Houston, though, stays ahead now in the race for the top draft choice. Steve Young of BYU, the left-handed quarterback, may be their choice. The New England Patriots were routed by the New York Jets 26-3. Richard Todd finally found his long man, Wesley Walker right here, 64 yards for a touchdown, and the Jets are starting to play like everyone assumed they would when the season began. And the hottest team right now, the Cleveland Browns, they have won 3 in a row. They're only a game behind Pittsburgh in that chase in the AFC Central Division. What a play this is. Brian Sipe is flushed from the pocket, goes to Ozzie Newsome. He slips a tackle. Now, Newsome's got speed, and how about strength? That is not how you tackle someone. You get the leverage on him and get him out of bounds. 41-23, and Sam Ratigliano may be going to the playoffs. How about that, Herbie? Now let's send you back to the stadium. The second half about ready to start.
At the Coliseum in Los Angeles, it's 13-5, the Raiders over the Giants, a most unusual score. And so far, a game that really hasn't surprised either John Madden nor I. John, I suppose if you go back to the conferences and the talks we had with both coaches yesterday, they've pretty much done exactly what they planned to do.
Well, they have, and I think the Raiders are just trying to, as Tom Flores said, be patient. He said we can't go after that big one early, but I think they have something in mind that they want to come back and maybe have some explosiveness the second half.
You know, it's been a conservative first half. I think that's probably a kind word. And I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that these teams don't see each other that often.
I think so. I think on the Raiders side it does. You know, it's not like playing the San Diegos and the Denvers. They play the Giants. They haven't played them in a long time, and they're really kind of sparring with the Giants. I think the Giants are probably happy to play this type of game, and the Raiders do turn the ball over. They haven't yet, so they're probably expecting maybe we can get something in the second half that'll be the play that we need to turn this thing over.
So I don't think you do either see any real changes in plans on the part of either coach as the second half comes up.
I can see the Raiders in the second half trying to go deep more.
Mm-hmm. Which is what Tom Flores told us they might do yesterday. They have to be patient first, and then when the opportunity presents itself, they will indeed try to go deep. You can see the score at the half is 13-5 as the Raiders and the Giants both return to the field.
The way some business people spend their time has very little to do with a clock. At Apple, we understand that business as usual isn't anymore. That's That's why we make the most advanced personal computers in the world. And why soon there'll be just two kinds of people.
Hi.
Those who use computers.
Yeah, I'll be home for breakfast.
And those who use apples.
A beer.
What beer?
Any beer.
Any beer.
Any beer? Listen here, any beer? In a big taste test with some of the best of the beers they drink around here. Easy drinking Ole with the great beer taste took on beer after beer after beer.
Beer on the bar tastes better than Ole, for an Ole and you're second to none. For an Ole and you're second to none.
Off the white-bellied jet that lands me to a hotel that understands me. I've got business and I'm on the road again. Feeling the pressure mounting on me, counting the people counting on me. Competition like I can't remember when. And you can reach me at the Hilton. Just call me at the Hilton and we'll get down to your business right away.
When American business hits the road, American business stops at Hilton, America's business address.